In this video, I do break down two center prospects, two that are mocked to the Ravens that are mid-round day 3 types, Dhonavan West from Arizona State and Cam Jurgens. We'll just take a brief look at them and get an overview sense of them on film. I went back and listened to Eric DeCosta's combine presser, also his end of season presser, and made a couple notes. I noted that he said he wants the first round draft pick to be special or to have qualities that are special. He may have been referring to any player they draft, but I took it to mean 14 or first round. I think that's reasonable to expect that as fans, that we get somebody at 14, or if they deem it necessary to trade back, we still should expect we get somebody special. I think it's safe to say that any of the three Georgia boys, along with Jermaine Johnson, those four guys at 14 would be a good pick, a special pick. To me, they're each uniquely peculiar in their own way, and I mean that in a positive sense. I'm partial to Jermaine Johnson. I view him as a transformative player, and some of that is a gut instinct about him as a football player. I love Trayvon Walker. He has a very, very high ceiling, very versatile piece. The two of them, that's a tough one for me. I like both players quite a bit. And then Jordan Davis and Devontae Wyatt. You absolutely need to get pressure in the face of Joe Burrows. Ravens need something inside, and that might be what tips the scale to me between Trayvon and Jermaine Johnson. The fact that Trayvon can be moved inside, but to have Jordan Davis there or Devontae Wyatt all the time, kind of moving them around. Like I said, each one of them is unique and offers something, I think, special. I wonder if DeCosta and the Ravens have really put themselves into a corner by ignoring the offensive line, largely ignoring it, presuming they can just set Lamar Jackson up with undrafted free agents, fourth-round guys for a while. I mean, I'm not alone in saying this, but I've been saying it for several years, really since Lamar came on board, that they need to build an offensive line that anyone can run behind. There's a part of me that's concerned that they're going to force this pick in the first round. I think the exact quote was from DeCosta was, a strong, commanding offensive line that can control people at the point of attack. Makes me wonder why that has not been a focal point, or the focal point that it apparently is now. And that's what I mean about a concern that we have put ourselves in this corner. I think the center class is pretty bleak. I don't buy the idea that just because PFF says that Tyler Linderbaum is the best center they've ever seen, according to their rating system, that he's better than Creed Humphrey. Certainly not for the Ravens, but I don't think he's anywhere near the center that Humphrey was and is. Humphrey was special as a freshman. He looked like the best lineman on that Oklahoma offensive line. Something else DeCosta said in the presser, he said that you can get a corner. I think I have this word for word here. You can get a corner at any point throughout the draft process, which I suppose factually is true. You can get a corner. But to me, that felt very much like a smoke screen. I think we're going to be looking corner early. I do like Ahmad Gardner. Everyone seems to like him. I slightly prefer Stingley. And Andrew Booth, what I've seen I like. Maybe someone who's watched him more can give me a heads up about him. As I watch him, I notice he's not thrown out much, and I tend to kind of go away from the film, but I'll get back into watching him. There's been talk of Hayden Hurst coming back. That certainly is a need to find a tight end that can stretch the field vertically. The blocking stuff we can wait on if we draft somebody. I'd prefer we go with somebody with some athleticism that can get up the seams. Seems that the Ravens can raise up blocking tight ends from rocks. That's not something that concerns me. They can coach that guy up in that regard. So now we're going to get into the two centers, the film on the two centers. Let me know your thoughts. Dhonavan West, a center out of Arizona State, is a popular mid-round mock to the Ravens. This is Dhonavan 61. Stands straight up off the ball, and then he's going to duck his head. Not sure what he's thinking in terms of his hands or his target pre-snap, but he whiffs there. Watch it again. Dhonavan in pass protection here has his hands very low and outside, down by his waist. Watch where they end up. Low and outside the waist of the defender. Defender gets his hands into his chest, just throws him aside. Almost gets a hit on the quarterback. Watch it again. Very similar look. Not good hand placement by the defender. Defender straight up here. But he's going to lunge. And look at how low, again, and outside his hands are. He's going to get ragdolled a little bit here. Defender gets some of his jersey and just kind of throws him around. Watch it again. Arizona State, after a few fakes here, are going to try to run this tight end screen. He's got a clean climb to this linebacker. He takes a poor angle, gets on the inside shoulder here. Linebacker sticks his hand in his chest, sheds him. Ends up being a big hit on the tight end. The ball comes loose, and it gets picked. And this is a block you want to see him make, obviously. Cam Jurgens, center out of Nebraska, has a lot of qualities I think that the Ravens would be attracted to. He is an exceptional puller, very good at attaching. Here, kicks out the end man and finishes violently. Very quick out of his stance, very athletic in space. We see him once again very quick out of his stance, able to get this corner on this kick out block. Does a good job in both of the examples getting on the inside shoulder and driving outside. Too many times in the run game I see him fire out of his stance, electric that way, but then duck his head and miss the block. And then as we see in pass protection, really leaves his chest unguarded, ducks his head, and gets ragdolled at the last second. The quarterback takes a hit. Something that you'll notice pretty quickly in watching him that he does, particularly in pass protection, sometimes against the run as well, is he will pump his arms instead of getting them inside. Pump them as if he's running. We see that here, and again, you don't have to look very far and you'll start to see that. He is late with his hands as a result, and they are wide. And you see the defender's arms inside, driving him back. He's a player with rare ability in terms of his quickness out of his stance, and he's special in terms of his ability to pull. But he's going to have to get stronger. He's going to have to work on his hands. I think he's a year away if he gets there. And he's somebody that the Ravens could mold, I think, into a guard a year or so from now.